Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Simon and we are the Whales of Wall Street. Today I've got a very quick and cool update involving crypto.com and F1. So without further ado, let's go straight into this and find out what this is all about. So I'm sure there's a load of F1 fans out there. I am one for myself. Just to put this in perspective, so when we were maybe talking about last year sometime between me and a group of people, we were talking about like how can crypto move to that next level and really engage with the a bigger audience, a more wider reach. And I always said that when it comes down to sports and things, it's probably a really good integral part to that. So F1, obviously Formula One, I think it's around like 1.9 or 2 billion people, maybe more now, certainly from after last year, are fans of F1. This means like a variety of watching and obviously participating and going to the events, as well as just having a general interest. So when you're looking at those kind of numbers, that is quite phenomenal in terms of an audience reach, in my opinion. So that's quite good. And then from the crypto.com perspective, they've already got 10 million users. So there's a good batch of numbers here already. But the important news here right now is the announcement of the global partnership with crypto.com and the F1. Now, this is to do the sprint series. So this isn't like the Grand Prix yet. This is more to do with a series of basically sprint runs that determine grid positions in a number of the Grand Prix. Grand Prix are basically the main events that you get after all the practice runs and the sprint runs, etc. So it is still very much watched massively. People have a great interest in knowing or wanting to know who's going to be in pole position and the remaining grid positions in the coming races. And I think there's a trial of 3 or 4 Grand Prix in this season upcoming, and of which crypto.com are going to have a massive presence trackside and in the pits. So this is phenomenal. It's opening up to an obscene audience in terms of numbers across the world. Look at this, over 30 countries worldwide participating in it. It's absolutely incredible. So I think this is fantastic, and one of the other really key things for me to pull out of this is the potential of the NFTs. Now, we've spoken about NFTs many times, non-fungible tokens. I will do a video on it separately, but yeah, this could open up insane things. We talk about like a Comey in a previous videos, NFT side of things, being able to own or put racing cars in your little virtual showrooms online, in the platforms like Decentraland potentially in the future. But to be able to create that kind of token and is really cool, and it's going to open up massive things. When I was younger, I used to collect like racing cars in the little boxes. I think I've still got a couple upstairs on the shelf, and some I trashed by taking them out of the box, which was silly of me at that, but I didn't know any better at that time, of course. And from the collector's items of NFTs and being able to buy and sell, and who knows, maybe use those in virtual races in the future. We've seen what can be done with horse racing when we looked at D-Race. Check that video out. I'll put a link at the end. Really cool. So that's relating to horse racing. Similar principle here. So I can imagine going down that sort of algorithm route of practicing or using your NFTs in races and stuff and improving those, being able to buy and sell your cars, more expensive cars as you keep improving them, etc. Kind of like what you do with like Need for Speed and those kind of games that you have on various consoles and PC. So that's really cool. And the other thing as well that I wanted to point out, I go on about this all the time, about the sort of Agenda 30 plan of sustainability and getting everything as much as possible down to that net zero carbon. Now, crypto.com are obviously a big part behind this push, and they're trying to push that message that crypto trading and crypto general is almost, if not already, most of it being sort of net zero or very extremely low carbon emissions in terms of finance trading and what you can and cannot do versus Visa, versus Swift and all the other banking transaction methods that we have today. I've got another video of that. If you haven't seen it the other week, I will put a link on that one as well. Really interesting from that side as well. But This is phenomenal. The company's strategy of crypto.com is to hit that 100 million users. So this partnership is working two ways really, because it's going to boost crypto.com's emphasis, and it's going to reverse that as well. It's going to impact the F1 as well, bringing customers of crypto.com that perhaps aren't interested in F1 or haven't been used to F1 before, and that NFT emphasis of introducing people who are collectors and stuff who weren't interested originally could now be as well. And this here as well, just mentioned previous partnerships with like Aston Martin, which was really cool, and some other sporting ones. So they're not new to this kind of method of partnerships and advertising. But F1, wow, you can't really get, obviously, football and soccer, etc., of course, but the F1 is such a household name, as everyone knows. And I think this is an extremely bullish partnership. Crypto.com, of course, with CRO, I'm assuming that eventually with the NFTs, this will involve CRO, so we can expect some potential price influxes as the weeks and months go on, and as the season kicks off. I think we're in the Australian Grand Prix, perhaps. Austria. My apologies. There's a funny little joke about Austria and Australia in Dumber and Dumber in the film, if you've ever watched it. Very good opening scene. So yeah, starts up very soon, and this is fantastic. I'm really excited about this for the space of crypto, and what it means in terms of the news, and what it means to potentially bring in more and more people to this space. And that's what we want. As regulations come in, of course, that will help out as well. But these kind of partnerships is what's going to drive the crypto message and the crypto sort of thought process as well. So let's keep an eye on that, and see how that progresses as we move forward. But I'm really excited about that. Hopefully you found this interesting. Please do like, subscribe, really helps the channel out. And we'll keep you guys up to date on anything like this that comes out in the near future for sure. So other than that, guys, I hope you found it interesting, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.